Morning everyone. We're going to start in a couple of minutes, so if you'd like to grab a seat. And I think a nice way to start the Achievers Breakfast this morning is I'll just invite Reverend Hedge forward just to say a prayer.
Bow our heads and give thanks. So as we gather today to recognise success in sport, we give thanks for talent, for determination, and for all those that help us to thrive and to grow. We give thanks for this food and the hands that prepared it. In the words of Joy Cowley, life is for living, love is for giving. Friends are for caring, food is for sharing. So for life, love, friends and food, we give you thanks, O God. Amen.
Thank you very much. Welcome again everyone. Good morning, welcome to the 2022 Woodford House Sports Achievers Breakfast. It's fantastic to have everyone here in the same room, something we haven't had for a while with a remote Achievers Breakfast last year. A couple of hiccups in term one this year with COVID, but it's been fantastic to have pretty much a full year of sport, so we've been very, very lucky. And it's great to be able to celebrate with all our girls this morning. What we've seen this year is a real bounce back in sport, and the girls, they're ready to attend the events they've missed. The house spirit's at an all-time high during our school sporting events, and our participation numbers are through the roof. So this shows the resilience of our student base, and has really shone the light on just how important sport is, and the social interaction that comes with it for this age group. It's been a busy year for our department with more events than ever on our calendars, but like I say, seeing the enjoyment from reconnection and the genuine want to compete in as much as possible has really made it all worth it for us. The importance of sport post-COVID was more evident than ever when Briar and I had the pleasure of attending the National Secondary School Sports Conference in Wellington at the end of last term. Over 400 sporting representatives from most schools around the country. They met at Sky Stadium in Wellington for 2 days of workshops and discussions. So a big takeaway for us from this conference was the fact that the secondary school sports space, it's starting to change post-COVID, and there seems to have been a reset and a bit of a clean slate for sporting organisations and schools to refocus on what's important for young participants. Philosophies and principles such as balance is better, getting parents on the waka, which is a way to provide positive environments for our athletes through collectively working with whānau, and It's My Move, which is a sport engagement for girls. They're all beginning to break new ground in the secondary school sports space. Young women in sport is a key focus area for Sport New Zealand, which is very positive, and is obviously a space that we're very invested in. And there's a lot of people putting in a lot of hard work to break down barriers to participation for sport for our young people. And as mentioned, the space is evolving quickly, and if you don't keep up, you're going to get left behind very quickly. The number of Woodford House girls involved in sport grows every year, and with our department now offering over 27 sports and wellbeing options, there's something for every student to sink her teeth into. It's this range of opportunities available and the rightful emphasis put on the importance and benefits of the sporting cornerstone at Woodford House that's made the full return to sport this year in 2022 really, really special. This year has brought with it unprecedented success for Woodford House. We've seen team and individual achievement at regional, national and international levels, and it's an honour to be able to celebrate all of those achievements with you all this morning. Sporting highlights from this year include the intermediate school winning their quad tournament hosted by St George's School in Whanganui. Our senior premier netball team winning the netball winter quad trophy for the 9th consecutive year and also making the top 16 of the Lower North Island Secondary Schools champs during tournament week. Woodford House being named the overall winter quad champions. Our first 11 football team making the Grant Jarvis tournament final during tournament week. And our junior Pent football team taking home the silverware from their tournament at Samuel Marsden in Wellington. It's safe to say that the trophy cabinet's looking quite healthy, but this is a result of hard work from both our athletes and also our very talented coaching and management staff. I think it's important to thank all of the staff, parents and top team coaches who give their time to make sure that the girls have positive role models and positive guidance on the sidelines. When the girls feel supported in their sporting pursuits, their confidence and enjoyment levels really grow. In addition to these fantastic team results, we've got girls competing in a wide range of sports, from boxing national champions to international powerlifters and everything in between. It never ceases to amaze me, the results that come across my desk, and it really is inspiring to see what these girls are achieving. Another highlight for me is the Sports Academy this year. It's again gone from strength to strength. We've continued our off-site workshops at the EIT Institute of Sport and Health, with the girls utilising these world-class facilities, equipment and trainers. This goes hand in hand with a number of girls training at the facility twice a week with programming and coaching, and we also get in a range of guest speakers who cover food and nutrition, sports psychology, physiotherapy and strength and conditioning. The 35 athletes in the program have really been inspired to aim high whilst being equipped with the tools to get there. Just before we get into the formalities, to all award winners and members of our top teams in attendance, congratulations girls, congratulations in advance. Enjoy your moments this morning, you thoroughly deserve them. And just another piece of housekeeping, I know that you girls will be itching to get to period 1, but you get to miss it today. So we'll be finished in time for you to get to period 2. I'd like to now invite Annabelle Kerr to come forward and give her sports prefect speech. Annabelle's been an outstanding student ambassador for sport at Woodford House. Her approach to the role and ability to lead by example has been outstanding. Annabelle's had a great year personally with her sport, and we have many fond memories to look back on during her time at Woodford House. Moving through the year levels, she could be mistaken for the third member of the sports department due to the amount of time she spends in our office, but I'll welcome Annabelle forward to say her speech.
Hi guys. I've had the privilege of being 2022's Sports Prefect. This year has been a journey for everyone, and it has been awesome to see a wide variety of sports and seeing the successes of many girls sitting in this room today. What does sport mean to me? Sport for me is extremely important to keep my life balanced. Sport pushes us in every way possible, makes us feel a ton of emotions, from the rough lows when we fail, to succeeding even harder and being on top of the world. I've experienced this in my journey of hockey over the years, but the key point is to never give up and keep pushing till you achieve that one goal. At the end of the day, sport is where we grow friendships and learn key life skills. Many of these girls sitting here today are close friends due to their strong relationships grown by sport, especially at Woodford House, as an essential part of our community. Swimming sports, as some of you may know, isn't my finest event of the year. It was a give-it-a-go attitude that really came out with those 7 events. Even though it was only competitive swimmers competing and down at the pool, it was great to see those involved getting into the full house spirit. Athletics. This was a completely different day for me. I was actually able to compete for some house events and get extra house points. It was great to see those giving it a go in various events. Abby Bateman really found her hidden talent in those hurdles. Athletics has always been my favourite house event of the year. Everyone giving it a go, smiles on faces, out in the sun with friends, parents supporting on the sidelines. Cross country, despite it being the most dreaded house event by most, it is always great to see the huge smiles at the finish line. Some even lay on the ground looking dead after putting in so much effort. I'm telling you now, you may hate wanting to run cross country, but once you come to your final year, it's over. I would like to say a few thank yous. First of all, to the parents who are our number one supporters, being our taxi drivers to various sporting practices and being there cheering us on at our games and tournaments. Thank you for your support to your daughters throughout the entire year. Miss Nixon, Briar and Sadia, you have all been so supportive over the years and are constantly busy organising and sorting the girls out. Your hard work does not go unnoticed. Thank you so much for allowing me to come into the office whenever and being there for a chat when needed. The coaches and managers, the multiple hours you've spent with the girls and developing them into the talented young women they are today. The successes that have come from Woodford teams this year would not have occurred without your support and input. And finally, to the girls, the effort you have all put in over the past year and years before has been incredible. It has been awesome watching you all develop and perform. You should be extremely proud of your grit and determination you have put into your chosen sports this year. Just remember, there is more to life than sport. Don't let the low points get you down. Keep pushing and believe in yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Annabelle. Fantastic. Just before we move on, we're going to start with our Summer and Winter Sports Awards. What I'd like to do is I'd like to invite forward Storm Purvis, our guest speaker for the morning. Invite her forward so that she can hand out these awards and congratulate the girls. As you all know, Storm's a former New Zealand netball player and is currently a Sky Sports reporter and presenter. So Storm's a very busy lady, so we're very lucky that she's come from Auckland to spend the morning with us. So welcome, Storm. Now, for these Summer and Winter Sports Awards, obviously a few of these awards have been handed out at different assemblies and things during the year for the girls, but it's nice that we're able to include these awards in our Achievers Breakfast just so we can celebrate with parents, and because these girls have achieved at such high levels and really put in that effort, it's great to get them across the stage again just to recognise them. So athletics was obviously held last week, rescheduled from Term 1, and we gave out the awards yesterday at Assembly, so it's fantastic that those parents, a few parents at short notice, were told that their daughters were the champions for their respective year levels. It's great to have you here today, and I'm going to start off with those athletics awards. So our Athletics 2022 Year 7 and 8 champion, we actually have champions. We've got joint winners, so if McKee Rabbit and Luka Tatari could please come forward. Our Year 9 champion, again we have champions, we've got joint winners, so if Kaya Solomon and Sophie Storer could please come forward. And we've got a fantastic little side story from athletics. Sophie also broke a record in shot put during the day, a shot put record that was actually held by her mum that's been long standing since 1993. Our Year 10 champion is Lydia Burns. Our Year 11 champion and overall intermediate champion was Sophie Webber. And last but not least, our senior champion for 2022 is Zoe Elliott. Well done to all those winners. Now moving on in our summer sport categories, we're moving to cricket. So for our most improved player for this year, this is a student displaying improvement across the season, plus commitment and reliability. A very worthy winner. If Ava Williams could please come forward. And our next two cricket awards actually go to the same player, a real linchpin in our cricket team, a real leader and someone who's competing to a very high level in her sport. So most promising player, so that's a student displaying an ability to perform to a higher standard plus commitment and reliability and contribution to cricket. So this is a student displaying exceptional commitment to the team in terms of leadership and reliability. A student who ticks all those boxes and more is Charlotte Wakefield. Moving on to rowing, our best performance category, our winner this year is Martine Sandberg. Now moving on to our swimming champions. Much like athletics, it's great to be able to get these girls across the stage again and revisit their fantastic efforts from Term 1. So our Year 7 and 8 swimming champion for 2022 is Millie Skidmore. Our junior champion is Kaya Henare. We couldn't split our Year 10 champions on points, so we've got joint champions and they are Evie Skidmore and Sophia Clapperton. Our Year 11 champion is Esther Deere. And our senior swimming champion for 2022 was Martine Sandberg. Well done to all those girls. Moving on to our tennis category, we've got two most improved in the junior and senior category. So most improved junior player is a Year 7 to 10 student displaying improvement across the season, plus commitment and reliability. And the student has gone from strength to strength and has had some fantastic results this year. If Caitlin Bush could please come forward. And our most improved senior player, the Year 11 to 13 student displaying improvement across the season plus commitment and reliability, Phoebe White. Now for touch rugby, our most promising touch player, student displaying an ability to perform to a high level, plus commitment and reliability in the sport of touch. The most promising player is Grace Asher. Now in our sub-sport category, we've got a sport that we're giving out awards for the first time. Water polo, a sport that's starting to take hold in Hawke's Bay. We've got some fantastic Year 7 and 8s playing water polo this year, and they've really done well. They've been in the North Island Champs up in Auckland and won their respective grade in Hawke's Bay. So we've got some great water polo players, and we're looking forward for the growth in the sport. So our most improved player this year, student displaying improvement across the season plus commitment and reliability, is Catherine McKinty. Well done, Catherine. And our most promising water polo player for 2022 is Olivia Bunny. Well done, Olivia. Now moving on to volleyball, our most improved player for this season, a student who has displayed fantastic improvement across the season, plus that commitment and reliability that we're always looking for in the sporting cornerstone, is Izzy Westwood. And our most promising player for the 2022 season is Jazz Nuku. Now let's give a big round of applause to all of those winners in our summer sports categories. Now into our winter sports, we're going to start with badminton, and our Year 7 and 8 champion for badminton this year is Mia Hardy. Our junior champion for badminton was Georgia McKendry. Our senior badminton champion is Amanat Kumar. Now moving on to our most improved player and most promising player for badminton. Our most improved player this year is Lily Niman. Well done, Lily. And our most promising player, a student displaying an ability to perform to a higher standard plus commitment and reliability, a student who's had a fantastic season and I know who's set herself some great goals looking forward in the sport of badminton, is Aroha Kent. Now to basketball, our most improved basketball player, a student who has been fantastic for us this season in our Junior A team, showed great improvement and is also one of our most committed and reliable players, is Kai Hanare. And our most promising basketball player for this year is Grace Asher. Now moving on to our cross-country champions. As Annabelle said, sometimes the event that the girls don't often enjoy as much, but for these girls it's something they really excel in. Our Year 7 and 8 champion for this year was Millie Skidmore. And keeping it in the family, our junior cross-country champion was Evie Skidmore. And our senior cross-country champion for 2022 goes to Sophie Webber. Well done, Soph. Now to equestrian. Our contribution to Equestrian Award. This is for a student displaying exceptional commitment to the sport in terms of leadership, conscientiousness and reliability. A really fitting winner, someone who has been fantastic for us in rallying the equestrian girls, helping organise a number of events and bits and pieces for us. So Millie Walden, if you could please come forward. Now, for our most improved in the category for equestrian, this is for a student displaying improvement across all aspects of the Woodford House equestrian program plus commitment and reliability. This goes to Lottie Bull. Our outstanding performer for equestrian, a student displaying ability to perform to a high standard with outstanding equestrian results throughout 2022, and the winner is Jess McCann. And our final equestrian award is our high performance trophy for equestrian. And so this one is for another student who's achieving things at a very high level, a student who had some fantastic results in the tournament week window, and that's Annie Moffat. We'll hold on to that for Annie. Moving on to football. Our most improved player for this season, a student who again has shown fantastic improvement across the season, commitment, reliability, a student who has been fantastic for our first 11 this year, a real rock in defence, and you wouldn't know it looking at her, but she is a vital part of the team and for the team's successes this year. So the winner is Georgie Dickey. For football, our most promising player this year, this has been chosen based on the usual 3-2-1 system that the coaches do after the games, tallied up at the end of the season. A student who's had a fantastic season, has shown the ability that she can perform to that high level, is a real leader in the team, so that's Jess McNamara, who unfortunately isn't with us because she has COVID, but we'll celebrate with her another team. And our golden boot, a student who's scored the most goals over the current season, a student who has scored more goals than you can imagine and has had a fantastic season, that's Kaya Solomon. Finally, for football, our Contribution to Football Award. This student has shown fantastic, not only commitment to football, but a range of other sports at Woodford House. Her commitment, her reliability, being able to throw jobs at her, the leadership she showed throughout the tournament week run was fantastic. So Alex Cave, if you could please come forward. Now for hockey, our most improved player for hockey, again, that student displaying the ability and improvement across the season. This is a player who, in her first season in the first 11, has been fantastic, starting real rock in defence. Maddie Ives, if you could please come forward. Our next two categories are our most promising player and also contribution to hockey. These go to the same student, a student who in her time at Woodford House has given a lot to the sport of hockey. It's a real passion of hers. She's achieving to an extremely high level in the sport. So our most promising player and contribution to hockey. So it's not just the fact that she is one of our top performers, but also what she gives back to hockey with umpiring, coaching, on Friday nights with our Year 7 and 8 teams, cold nights at the sports park when she's out there officiating. So Annabelle Kerr, if you could please come forward. Finally for hockey, just our second 11 Coaches Cup. This is for a student displaying the ability to read and create play, a student who's had a fantastic season in the second 11, and that's Tessa Bennett. Moving on to netball. We've had fantastic netball season this year at Woodford House, and I'm going to start with our most improved player for the season. This is a student who has had her first season in the senior Prem team, come in as a Year 9 student and really excelled for us, and that's Hinui Joe. Now for most promising player, we've got most promising players this year. We've given this to two girls. These are students who are obviously displaying an ability to perform to an extremely high level, the commitment and reliability that we're looking for in the leaders of our senior Prem netball team. So if these two girls could please come forward to accept the most promising player for 2022, Emma Delatour and Zoe Elliott. And our final netball award, oh no, not our final one, we've got a couple left, contribution to netball. So this student not only is contributing at a really high level on the court, but off the court with officiating, benching, doing everything that we ask of her. She's been fantastic for the netball program, and we will really miss her, Holly McKendry. Our final netball award is our most valuable team member for our junior A team. This student has obviously been performing at a very high level, exceptional commitment to the team for the Junior A team in terms of leadership and reliability. This student was rewarded with a call up to the Senior Prem Netball team for tournament week, had a fantastic tournament, really took everything in her stride and is developing very well as a netball player. So Sophie Matthews, if you could please come forward. Our final winter sport category is orienteering. So for our best performance this year for orienteering, student displaying exceptional ability or performance this year is Sophie Webber. And our contribution to orienteering, I think the student's family has had a bit of a stronghold on the orienteering awards for a few years now. A student who has displayed conscientiousness, reliability in the field of orienteering, Lydia Burns. Let's give a big round of applause to all of our winter sport winners. Now I'm going to move on just to our Year 13 awards. Something that we've added in over the last couple of years just to recognise the hard work and commitment that our Year 13 athletes have put into their sport at Woodford House. Many of these girls have played for a number of years in our top teams, representing Woodford House in school competitions, at inter-school exchanges and at national tournaments. Furthermore, a number of these girls are coaches and officials for our younger girls and have given a lot to sport during their time at Woodford House. I'd like to call forward the following girls to receive a Year 13 Service to Sport Award as recognition for your time at Woodford House. So we'll start off with Paige Adams for contribution to rugby. The holidays Paige was playing for the Hawke's Bay under-18 team, which was fantastic to see. Next up for netball, we have Amelia Barrett. If Emma Delator could please come forward for netball. Maggie Grimshaw could please come forward for boxing and also her netball coaching. Now just with Maggie's boxing, she's also, she's recently, very recently, become the 2022 national champ for her weight class and also has been selected for the New Zealand Youth Developmental Squad travelling to Samoa on November 24th to fight. So Maggie's having a fantastic year for boxing and we look forward to seeing how you progress. Next up for hockey, Amy Kane. Also for hockey, Annabelle Kerr. For football, if Imogen Lovell could please come forward. For netball, India McIntyre. For rowing and also netball coaching, Rosa McKenzie. Lily Mathers, if you could please come forward for your netball. Emma McDougall, football. Alex McGough, netball coaching. Holly McKendry, netball and kayaking. Martine Sandberg, hockey, rowing and netball coaching. Zita Schuler, netball and basketball. Jolie Scott, powerlifting. Jewel Titter, football and football officiating. Charlotte Treadwell, hockey. And last but not least, Millie Walden, equestrian. And like I say, it's just nice to be able to recognise those Year 13s. They do a lot for sport, and a lot of them have been involved in sport for the whole time that they've been at Woodford House and have given a lot back. So it's just nice to get them across the stage. To be able to recognise that, the importance is certainly not lost on our department. What I'll do now is I'd like to pass across to Storm. Storm is our guest speaker, as I mentioned, and I know the girls are very excited to have you here and to hear about your sporting journey. So I'll pass over.
Thank you. All right, morena everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. It is an honour to be here speaking to you all this morning. I just want to start by saying I am a terrible public speaker. It actually kind of terrifies me, and people assume that because I work in television and present live sport all the time, that I'd be really good at it. But believe it or not, one tiny black camera in the distance is a whole lot less intimidating than all your faces staring up at me. So bear with me as I try and eloquently stumble my way through this. I remember listening to a fair few of these speeches myself when I was your age, so I do have a wee favour to ask too. If I start to bore you, please try and not make it look obvious. It'll really throw me off and it'll make it awkward for everyone. In saying that, I won't talk for too long, and hopefully there's something interesting in my story for each and every one of you. So on that note, we'll get into it. My name is Storm Purvis, and I'm Silverfern number 162. I like to say that out loud every now and then because, while it was only for a short time that I played in the black dress, I do get to call myself a Silverfern forever, and I consider that my greatest achievement in life so far. Before I retired a couple of years ago as a 27-year-old, I played 100 ANZ Premiership matches, making my debut as an 18-year-old against Irene van Dijk for the Southern Steel, another pretty cool achievement. Captained the New Zealand under-21 team for 2 years in a row, the latter at a World Cup in Scotland, which we won, so that was pretty cool too. And I played in 3 World Fast 5 series, 2 of which we won, and 1 that I captained, but we didn't win that one, so we'll just move past that. All of these achievements happened for me because of many reasons, but I tend to like to think and pretend that it was just because of 2. 1, I worked bloody hard. And 2, I absolutely loved training for and playing the game of netball. I won't say I loved every second and every minute of it, because that would be a lie. We all know that high performance sport has its highs and lows, and you wouldn't all be sitting here today if you didn't know that already. So let's break down those 2 reasons, starting with number 1, hard work. I was always competitive and always relatively athletic. I started running at a young age, and by 10, I was competing in the 400 and 800 metres internationally. I've dramatised that a little bit. It was only 3 hours away in Sydney, and we were literally children, but it still counts. That same year, I was told I would need knee surgery to sort out a wee issue with my cartilage, or more specifically, lack thereof. As a 10-year-old, that was pretty hard to deal with. But it was, just a result of mixing running with growing a lot, some poor genetics, not looking anywhere in particular. Other side of the family, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it was tough. I went under the knife as a 10-year-old. I just started a new school in the big bad city of Auckland, where I didn't know anyone, and I was on crutches. By the time I came off crutches, I had diligently gone through my rehab, and I was ready to get back into my running, only to discover that in my absence, everyone had grown around me and got a whole lot faster, and unfortunately, I got a whole lot slower. So running was no longer going to fill my competitive desires. And pairing this with the fact that I needed to make new friends at my new school, I decided to take up netball. Being tall and relatively coordinated, I was thrown into the Year 7 top team with girls I still consider to be some of my bestest friends today, nearly 20 years later. But I'll get into that more in reason number 2. This is all about hard work. By Year 10, I was playing in the Prem team at school, and during Year 11, I had heard a whisper that I was wanted to trial for the New Zealand schools team. Before that could happen, however, I was struck with more knee pain and required another knee surgery. That meant not playing netball for the rest of the year, not making rep teams, and not being selected to trial. That was pretty tough as a 15-year-old going through my second major knee surgery rehab. I worked damn hard during Year 12, knowing that I wanted to come back fitter and stronger and really determined to make that New Zealand team by Year 13. More heartbreak was to come though, when despite feeling like I had come back to my best, I found out I'd only been selected in the Auckland Under-17 B team. Shock, horror, this was the end of the world for me, my life was over. I honestly thought, I wouldn't be looked at, no one was going to watch the B team at Nationals, no one would see me play, no one would care, and all the other girls would go on to be Ferns and Mystics and whatnot, and I would not. Well, let me tell you, I was very, very wrong. At those very Nationals, people are always watching, even not at Nationals. Wherever you're playing your sport, people are watching. I made the tournament team, much to some of the defenders in the A team's dismay. I was also handed a letter to let me know I'd been selected in the New Zealand Under-21 squad. This was a pretty big deal at the time for a 16-year-old who was in a B provincial team and hadn't even trialled for New Zealand schools yet. So my lesson there is, it can happen to anyone, anywhere, and just because you weren't selected in the team you wanted to be or thought you deserved to be, don't give up. It's not the end of the road. Make sure you have fun, and you never know what can happen. From all this came one of the biggest years of my life, Year 13. I was named a Northern Mystics training partner, had been selected in the New Zealand schools team, New Zealand Under-21 squad, all while still playing school, club and rep netball, and while trying to finish my last year of NCEA. Juggling all that taught me more than you could ever imagine. Remember how I said this was all about hard work? Well, in Year 13, some school days would look like this. 5:30 a.m. wake up to get to a weight session on the other side of Auckland. If you're lucky you don't have to worry too much about traffic down here. Getting back over the Harbour Bridge to make it to school on time, signing myself out at lunchtime to make as much of a Mystics court training as I could. Back to class, have rep training after school before somehow sneaking in some dinner and signing off the day with a club training, getting home around 9 p.m. It was exhausting, and it was fair to say my schoolwork took a back seat. I had more absent days than I did present in my Year 13 end of year report. Mum and Dad were not impressed about that at all. However, I still finished NCEA Level 3 with an excellence endorsement. To this day, I have no idea how I did that. I think I really must have chosen the right subjects, and truth be told, I can't actually remember what I studied, so teachers block your ears there, sorry. When I look back at that time in my life, I am both really impressed with myself and the work I put in to achieve my goals, but also a little bit disturbed that that was allowed. And I didn't really have anyone to tell me to slow down or do this, don't do that, focus on this, forget that. I just wanted to do it all. And truth be told, I paid the price a little bit. Yes, it laid the perfect platform for me to go on and achieve all those things I spoke about at the beginning of this speech, but it made the road really quite difficult and in the end, very short. Like I said, I retired at just 27 after my body completely broke down on me. During my 10 years of pro netball, I had many stress fractures, needed compartment syndrome surgery in both of my legs, had another knee surgery, so that's 3 for those of you keeping count, and very seldomly got my period. Yes, I'm grateful for what I achieved and what netball has given me, but I would so love to still be playing alongside so many of my friends, some even older than me, that are still hitting the court today. Had I had the support and education available to you guys around your health, your anatomy, life balance, I have no doubt that I'd still be playing today. So I really urge you to make the most of that support and listen to the older, wiser people around you every now and then. So that brings me nicely to reason number 2 that I believe helped me achieve all that I did: the love for the sport. I promise this point won't take nearly as long to get to, but it may be a little bit confusing. It leads on from reason one. Yes, you have to work hard. If you don't work hard, you're not going to make it. That's just a fact. Everyone knows that. But you won't work hard if you don't love what you're doing. And you won't love what you're doing unless you have balance in your life. You know when you find a new song that you love and you put it on repeat and you play it over and over for months on end until you get sick of it? Then you don't play it for a while and you hear it randomly a few months later and you're like, damn, I really love this song. Well, that happens a lot in life as well. And it will probably happen at some stage with your sport too. You need to make sure every aspect of your life is looked after and being given attention. Just like you need to bless your ear holes with a whole range of music and different artists to not only keep yourself entertained, but also keep yourself interesting. And if one artist you love starts making bad music, or you overplay one song and get sick of it, you've got a whole lot more on your Spotify ready to go. It's a weird analogy, I know, but it's the whole you can't put all your eggs in one basket thing. I loved netball, and I was committed to being the best. But as humans, we are very complicated. And if you don't have many other things happening in your life, like a social life, staying in touch with your family, studying, working, or doing other hobbies, you will honestly eventually end up hating your sport. This is the confusing part. I made heaps of sacrifices throughout my life for netball, particularly in my younger years when it felt much harder to do so, probably how a lot of you are feeling right now. I didn't go to my school ball because I was playing in Australia. I missed out on all sorts of parties and cool things you do when you're a teenager, mostly because I was exhausted from training or I'd be away. I learnt to stop calling them sacrifices and instead just called them choices. The choices I made because one day I wanted to be a silver fern. I'll say it again, I loved netball and I believed in my dream, so I challenge you all to refer to them as choices instead of sacrifices going forward. That word gets thrown around a lot and it's kind of aggressive. If you love the game you play or the sport you do, it's just a choice you make to be the best. And back to my earlier point, if you make the choice to go to a party and miss out on one training, that's totally fine as well. It's not the end of the world. Just don't do it all the time, and I'm sure eventually you will make up for it down the road. Even if that means needing a bucket in the gym the next morning. I may or may not be speaking from experience there. Block your ears again, adults, sorry. But truth be told, if you love your sport, I studied in Dunedin, so that probably explains it there, right? If you love your sport, you will have more fun competing around the country, or maybe even world, alongside people that become your family, seeing, doing, and achieving things you can only imagine than you will ever have at some lame house party or school ball. At least I know I did anyway. To wrap this all up, I think it's important to acknowledge what I do now. Because I worked hard, loved what I did, had fun, and found balance, I now found myself retired from netball, but not finished with it. I'm still heavily involved with sport in my dream job. I work for Sky Sport and present a TV show called The Crowd Goes Wild. Does anyone know that or watch it? I don't know if anyone watches TV anymore. Adults, yes, good. I also commentate netball and more recently have been lucky enough to report live at epic events like the Commonwealth Games and the Tokyo Olympics. Getting to interview some of my best friends like Silver Ferns captain Gina Crampton after they won their bronze in Birmingham was such a career highlight for me and in a way felt like a real full circle moment. Yes, injuries may have limited my ability to play for longer at a higher level, and while I hate that I never made it to the games as an athlete, I was still there, and I still got to feel the highs and the lows that we're so privileged to feel with sport. And I put that all down to the two main lessons I learned throughout my career, and I hope you guys can remember them both too. Thank you again for your time and allowing me to share a bit of my journey with you. It is a real privilege to be here and witness the short achievements in your short history and journey of sport so far. Look forward to hearing about your futures. Sounds like there's many bright ones ahead. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. Ngā mihi, thank you.
Fantastic, thank you so much, Storm. Now we're going to move on to our special awards for this morning. So to receive one of the special sporting awards means that your sporting achievements and attitude towards sport at school, at a school, regional and national level have been exemplary in 2022. When the winners come up to receive their award, what I've got is a little PowerPoint slide outlining their achievements. If these girls can just stay on stage until I've run through your individual achievements and then head down to get a photo before returning to your seat. So our first special award of this morning is a student displaying exceptional fair play. It's our Fair Play Award in sport through displaying commitment, selflessness, resiliency in the sporting cornerstone at Woodford House. So our Fair Play Award winner this year is Zita Schuler. As I say, Zita, a few of her outstanding results this year. She was invited to the Junior Tall Ferns Under-18 Invitational Trial and Camp, selected as a Junior Tall Ferns Under-18 Reserve, which is amazing. She's been in the High Performance Hawke's Bay Basketball Academy, East Coast North Island Athletics Representative, Under-17 Female Assistant Coach for the Central North Island Regionals, Woodford House Junior A basketball coach and a member of the Senior Premier Netball team. A big year for Zita, but it's fantastic and she really deserves this award. Well done. Next up, we have our Sportsmanship Award. This is awarded to the girl who has shown, in addition to success in her sports, she's shown loyalty, unselfishness and outstanding sportsmanship to her school. And the winner this year is Martine Sandberg. As you can see, Martine played for the Akina Women's Premier Hockey Team, placing second in Hawke's Bay Div 1. She placed fourth in the Women's Club Double at the North Island Secondary Schools, 10th place in the Under-18 Girls Pair for her rowing. She was the New Zealand Rowing Women's Club 13th place overall, and she was selected as a member of the Under-18 Hockey Team, placing second at the New Zealand Women's Under-18 tournament. Well done, Martine. Our next award is Student Coach of the Year. So obviously it's nice to support and celebrate all of the sporting achievements that the girls have had on the courts, turfs this year, but it's also on the sidelines where we really get the benefits of these students and their expertise. So our Student Coach of the Year this year is Zita Schuler. So I put this photo up because Zita loves it. So as I mentioned before, she was the Under-18 Female Assistant Coach for the Central North Island Regionals team, the Aon Under-17 Nationals, and also the Woodford House Junior A basketball team. She's given a lot back to netball this year, and it's been fantastic to have her. Thank you, Zita. Moving on to Student Official of the Year. So this is a student who has fulfilled umpired at national tournaments, Hawke's Bay tournaments for Woodford House and for their respective federations. This student has done big things in officiating, and it's nice, like coaching, to be able to celebrate with someone whose pathway in sport might be through a different channel. And for this student, it looks like it is going to be officiating. She's a fantastic member of our First 11 football team, but it's through her officiating that we're going to recognise her today. It's Jill Titter. So as you can see, I'll run through Jill's officiating. She's the Men's Federation Cup referee, Women's Federation referee, Men's Premiership Cup referee, and selected for the Super 8 tournament. She was selected for the New Zealand Under-20 Referee Development Academy. She's refereed New Zealand Under-18's Boys Premier Secondary School tournament. She's been offered a National League rank position at Mainland Football for next year. And I've got up there that she was a finalist for the Student Official of the Year last night at the Hawke's Bay Secondary School Awards, a trophy that Jill actually won. So well done, Jill. That's a fantastic result. Now moving into our year level awards, starting with our Year 7 and 8 category. Our Contribution and Performance Award for Year 7 and 8 this year goes to Caitlin Stillman. So Caitlin was selected for the United Cheer competition in Wellington, placing first in the individual division and team division. At the National Grand Champs cheerleading, she placed first in the individual and team divisions. She's competed in many international cheerleading events, Australasia Super Nationals, placing second in the individual division. This placed her 5th overall in this division at the Australasia competition and second in the team division. She's been selected to represent New Zealand at the Global Cheer Games in Honolulu, Hawaii in May 2023. Well done. Our next Year 7 and 8 award is our Year 7 and 8 Sportsperson of the Year. And the winner this year is Millie Skidmore. Millie's had a fantastic year in the pool. She won 3 gold medals at the New Zealand AIM Games, 100 medley, 200 medley and 200 breaststroke, alongside 3 bronze medals in the 200 free, 50 free and 100 breast. She's our Woodford House Intermediate School Swimming Champ, Intermediate Cross Country Champ. She plays in the Intermediate Hockey team and she was selected into the Hawke's Bay Poverty Bay Swim Team as the 11-year-old swim champ. Well done, Millie. Our Year 9 Contribution and Performance Award. This year, our Year 9 Contribution and Performance, the student who wins this is Hadia Pada. Hadia played in the Year 7 and 8 Cricket Reps tournament at the beginning of this year, played in the Year 9 and 10 Cricket Rep team. She's a member of the Hawke's Bay Cricket pre-season program, selected for the Hawke's Bay Under-14 netball program, and is a first-year member of our Woodford House Senior Premier Netball team as Year 9. Great seasons. Thank you. Well done, Hadia. And our Year 9 Sportsperson of the Year for 2022 is Kaya Solomon. Kaya's had an amazing year with her football this year. She was selected for the Div 1 women's football team, placing 2nd overall in the Hawke's Bay League. She played for the Hawke's Bay Under-16 football team, placing 2nd overall, and was 2nd for the Golden Boot at the Hawke's Bay FTC Rep tournament. She was selected for the Under-19 Havelock North Wanderers team, 3rd in the Golden Boot for the Women's Div 1 League. Won the Golden Boot Award for Woodford First 11 team and was awarded the Havelock North Wanderers Young Player of the Year Award. This team will be playing at the Lotto Nationals Youth Championship in October. Well done, Kaya. Moving on to our Year 10 category. Our Year 10 Contribution and Performance Award. The winner this year is Sophia Clapperton. Sophia qualified for the New Zealand Short Course 2022 Nationals in 50 freestyle and 50 back. Overall, she placed top 10 for 50 backstroke for under 14 girls in New Zealand. She's the joint Year 10 and Intermediate champion for the Woodford House Swimming Sports. Well done, Sophia. And our Year 10 Sportsperson of the Year this year is Hannah Webb. Hannah was a member of the Under-15 Gisborne Senior Surf Lifesaving Champs, placing 2nd overall. In canoe racing is where she has really excelled. She, in the New Zealand 5K Champs, she placed 1st in the Under-16 K1. Canoe Racing New Zealand Sprints Champs, you can see a range of results there. And also the big one was that she was selected for the Canoe Racing New Zealand Foundation Squad and the Under-16 Asia Pacific New Zealand team, who were heading to Japan. Unfortunately, due to COVID, they didn't make it. But some of her recent results have been amazing, and you won't find a more dedicated athlete. Well done, Hannah. Our Year 11 Contribution and Performance Award this year goes to Charlotte Wakefield. Charlotte's a member of the Hawke's Bay Cricket Association girls team, was selected for the Havelock North women's cricket team this year and was awarded the most promising player and best batter. She also played for the Cornwall boys team and was awarded best fielder and most outstanding best fielding moment. She was selected in the Hawke's Bay Year 9 and 10 representative team and the Hawke's Bay women's indoor cricket team, placing 4th at the New Zealand Nationals. Fantastic work, Charlotte, well done. And our Year 11 Sportsperson of the Year is Sophie Webber. I'm not going to try to read all of this, Soph. We'll be here all day, but Sophie's excelling in a range of sports, and I won't embarrass you by keeping you up here reading it all, but I'll leave the slide up for everyone to have a look at. Sophie's had a fantastic year, is committed to a range of sports and is achieving at a super level in a lot of different sports, so well done, Sophie. Good job. Moving on to our Year 12 category, our Year 12 Contribution and Performance Award for 2022. The winner is Alex Cave. Alex is a member of the under-16 tennis team of 4 boys and 4 girls. She was number 1 seed, placing first at the intra-regional quadrangular tennis tournament and competed in the Christie Cup as part of the senior Hawke's Bay tennis team. She'll be competing at the Tennis Waikato Bay's New Zealand National Tennis Teams event. Alex received a Wilson Tennis Ambassador sponsorship for the upcoming season. Now that's a fantastic effort. There's very few of these that are handed out in New Zealand, and this is the first in Hawke's Bay. She's also giving back as a committee member for the Greendale Tennis Club, and last night she was recognised for her contribution to sport as a finalist in that category at the Hawke's Bay Secondary School Sports Awards. Well done, Alex. And our Year 12 Sportsperson of the Year for 2022 is Zoe Elliott. Zoe was selected in the Hawke's Bay Under-18 netball team, competing in the Nationals at Christchurch, and was nominated for Junior Player of the Year. She attended Netball New Zealand National Development Camp and was named in the New Zealand Secondary Schools netball squad. She's a member of the P1 Performance Program for the 3rd year. She's a member of the Woodford House Senior Premier Netball Team, Sports Academy, Sports Council, Bronze Duke of Ed, Composite Netball Team at the Central Zone Tournament, and just recently she's been selected into the New Zealand Secondary Schools A Netball Team, which makes her one of the top 24 secondary school netball players in New Zealand, which is an amazing effort based on the fact that the participation numbers for netball across the country are so high. Well done, Zoe. Moving into our Year 13 category. Our Year 13 Contribution and Performance Award winner for this year is Annabelle Kerr. Annabelle was selected for the Hawke's Bay Under-18 hockey team, placing 2nd at the Vantage National Under-18 Women's Championship. She placed 7th at the Hawke's Bay Senior Women's Ford National Hockey Championship, that's the Tier 1 for women, and was also selected for the Under-18 Junior Black Stick Super Camp. Well done, Annabelle. And our Year 13 Sportsperson of the Year for 2022 goes to Jolie Scott. Jolie's had an amazing year. She competed at the Regional Central District's powerlifting for junior women under 72 kgs, placing 1st in both weight class and overall junior women. She qualified for the World Powerlifting New Zealand Nationals, placing 1st in her weight class and 2nd overall in the junior women. She broke 3 Central District records, bench press, deadlift and total with those weights lifted, as you can see, and overall she was the first junior woman to break any records. She's recently been selected to be on the New Zealand powerlifting team to travel to Australia in November to compete in the Oceanias, and last night Jolie was shortlisted as a finalist for the Female Sportsperson of the Year award, which means there were 111 applicants across all of the Hawke's Bay Secondary School Sports Awards. Last night Jolie was shortlisted as one of the top 5 female sports people for the year, which is an amazing effort, and that just goes to show that once you put these results next to a lot of the other students in Hawke's Bay, Jolie's competing at a super high level. Well done, Jolie. So Storm, I'll let you have a break now. I'll let you go and grab a seat. And I'd like to invite Mrs. Peterson forward to hand out our last 4 awards of the morning. Starting with our Principals Award for our Team of the Year. So this is always a keenly contested category, but the team that's won Team of the Year for 2022 is our Football First 11. So Alex is going to come forward, obviously on behalf of the team as their captain. This team has had a fantastic season. It's a very young team, which is even better for Woodford House. At the most recent winter tournament week, this team made the final of the Grant Jarvis tournament, which is a range of the very top teams from the lower North Island. They played in Palmerston North and just went down in the final to Campion College, but it was a fantastic effort. They've also placed in the top 3 in the Hawke's Bay Secondary Schools Div 1 competition. So well done to that team, and well done to Chris McIver and also to Rebecca Trethowan, who have put in a lot of work with that team this year, and we're really starting to reap the rewards. Well done. Our next award is our Principals Award for Sporting Excellence, and the winner this year is Sophie Webber. So this award's awarded to a senior student with exceptional sporting ability demonstrated by selection and or sustained performance at a national level in one or more codes. And Sophie ticks a lot of those boxes, so well done, Soph. Now moving on to our last 2 awards of the morning. These are our overall junior and senior sportsperson of the year. So our Junior Sportsperson of the Year is the best student from years 7 to 10. All those categories that I've just run you through, shows a high level of skill over a range of sporting activities, representing the school while upholding the values and attitudes expected at Woodford House. And I'm really pleased to be able to invite this student forward to receive the overall Junior Sportsperson of the Year, and that's Hannah Webb. And our final award, the 2022 Overall Senior Sportsperson of the Year, and much like the junior category, this was a student who shows a high level of skill over a range of sports, obviously excelling in one in particular, upholding the values and attitudes that we look for at Woodford House, has had an amazing season, an amazing year, and there's a lot on the horizon for this student. If Zoe Elliott could please come forward. Well done. So that concludes our 2022 Sports Achievers Breakfast. Well done to all the prize winners, and thank you again to everyone that has contributed to sport at Woodford House this year. This includes the coaches, teachers, parents, and of course all the girls that have represented the school so well. A huge thank you has to go out to Briar for all the logistical work that she does behind the scenes. She's always cool, calm and collected, keeps the day-to-day running of sport at Woodford House ticking over really well. And I'll also have to make a thank you to Rachel Roberts. She's the SLT member who works very closely with us in our sports department. She's on camps, she's in dugouts, she's driving vans, and we really appreciate your support. Sadia, our local GAP student, you've been a huge help to our department this year. You've probably set the bar a bit high for GAP students, but that's not your fault. You've been coaching, supervising, running around the school, sorting out where the girls need to be and helping organise our big events. You've been a great addition to our department. Thank you to Storm. We know you're extremely busy, and for you to be able to come down, celebrate with us today, see some family members, which is always nice. I know it's a whirlwind visit for you, but thank you for your message this morning. It's always amazing for the girls to see someone who's achieved at that top level, and we'd just like to invite you forward just to receive a small gift on behalf of Woodford House. And last but not least, Annabelle Kerr, our sports prefect. Annabelle's led from the front on both the sports field and at school in 2022. She's been a great sports prefect this year and has been a constant in the sports department during her time at Woodford House. We couldn't have asked for a better student ambassador to represent us, and could you all please give Annabelle a huge round of applause while she comes forward. And just finally, I make a point of saying it every year, and it was actually reinforced at the Hawke's Bay Secondary School Sports Awards last night, but to all of our Year 13 leavers who came across the stage, and it was fantastic to see you all, please make time for sport when you leave school. It will take a bit more legwork for you at your end. It doesn't fall into your lap like it does at school. You'll have to look for teams, but what you'll get back in the way of friendships, networking and enjoyment will repay your efforts tenfold. Thank you to all the supporters that have watched via our live link. We look forward to 2022 and all the opportunities it brings. Girls, just make sure that you take any last minute photos before returning your trophies so we can get those engraved for you. And also the link for the photos, we'll make that available as soon as we can. Thank you to everyone, and happy safe travels and happy summer.